Springtime is finally here, my favorite season. I remember when we moved into our new old house, the backyard was full of amazing flowers. These were flowers that I never planted, but I got to enjoy their beauty. Somebody else did all the work planting them and taking care of them, and now as I move into this house, I get to just sit there and look at it. I remember this idea inspiring me so much that I created this painting. It says, God's grace is like living in a garden full of beautiful things that you never planted. Even though I have this garden of grace in my backyard, I still have a responsibility to tend to it and keep it tame. This teaches me a lot about spirituality, myself, and the world around me. When I know it's time to go out there and tame that garden, I arm myself. I put on my red rubber boots so that if there is a snake out there, I'm not afraid to step on it. And I put on my gloves. That way, if I'm picking up thorns or anything like that might hurt me, I feel confident that I'm going to be okay. Just being honest, I'm not any kind of gardener, a real gardener. So when I got this house full of all these beautiful flowers, it was very intimidating. But over time, after identifying things that were beautiful that I wanted to keep in my garden and things that were not, I feel like I'm able to be more responsible. And I also pray a lot while I'm gardening for God to give me discernment over what is good and what is bad. I remember when I first moved into my house, I needed a lot of advice. So I asked a woman gardener, how do I know if something is a weed? And she answered me really interestingly. A weed is just something that you personally don't want there. What you consider a weed, another person might not consider it. A weed is any plant growing where it's not wanted. They're able to outcompete desirable plants for their resources. They're often considered plants out of place and are subjective, as a weed to one person may be a useful plant to another person. When I go outside to do my gardening, I feel a spiritual sensation take over me. It's like all I want to do is seek out the weeds and remove them. I see that they get sneakily underneath the things that I want, sort of disguising themselves as good, stealing all the good nutrients and sunshine from the things I want. So when I pull them out, I have to be really careful not to pull out the good stuff that's right next to it. Sometimes in our own personal lives, we have a lot of good stuff going on and growing inside of us. But we have to be really careful, because if we don't tend to our spiritual gardens very well, and just kind of let things happen and grow out of control, we're going to find a whole lot of bad things going on. So we have to get in there and get our hands dirty and pray and ask God really to take over our hearts and trust Him to pull out any unnecessary thing growing sneakily in there that we just kind of let pass by. One of my favorite artworks I've ever done is a self-portrait. I remember before I did it, I was really struggling with my dreams, wondering if what I was dreaming and hoping for was really just me, or was God with me in my dreams? If He's not, I really started praying for Him to take away anything that was undesirable to Him in my heart. Help me to let go of my own dreams, pull them out, leave no trace of any root of them, so that the dreams He has for me can grow so much stronger and better. Sadly, a lot of times the dreams we have for ourselves are not aligned with God's will. So friends, what I'm encouraging you to do is to go outside, get into your garden, and go inside into your spiritual garden and really think and pray about what's growing on there. Pull out the stuff you don't want and put it in your bucket. When all the weeds are gone, take inventory of all the beauty that's there and thank God for giving you the grace and the garden to grow it in.